Welcome to the B.L. Glover Show Sports Edition, and let's get right into it. Today is Monday, April 25th, 2022. Now, the world is in shock right now. If you're a basketball fan, the reason for this B.L. Glover Sports Special Edition, we're going to call this Monday Morning Quarterback, is because Kevin Durant led Brooklyn Nets are down 0-3 to the Boston Celtics. Now, and as of Friday on First Take, Kendrick Perkins was debating Stephen A. Smith, who Stephen A. Smith really right now is losing ratings on ESPN because he can't even hold it together because of how much of his faith he put in Kevin Durant. So right now, if I would have told you that the Lakers wouldn't make the playoffs with LeBron James, Mr. Fallen, a.k.a., you know who that is, and Westbrook, and said they will not make the playoffs, nah, that wouldn't have happened. I'm talking about preseason predictions. Even when they were capable of being in the play-in game, I watched commentators, notably Stephen A. Smith, talk about if the Lakers are in the play-in game, I still have the Lakers. Okay, Lakers didn't make the playoffs. So now you're sitting back and saying, okay, this might be the year Chris Paul get his because they went to the finals last year, but Devin Booker got hurt. So now Golden State is in a series. Not Golden State, the Phoenix Suns is in the series. And Golden State is looking like the favorite coming out the West, in my personal opinion. But the whole purpose of this Monday Morning Quarterback show is to pretty much put you these GOAT conversationalists, greatest of all time conversationalists, trying to compare active players to, Hall of Famers. Now, I'm going to say this. Anytime that I hear a conversation with Kevin Durant being in the greatest conversation, it's going to get shut down because one thing I don't debate is sports. And let me say this. One thing I do debate is sports. I don't debate politics because politics, you cannot have a common enemy because it's not entertaining to have two sides. Politics is a one-way street. See, sports is competition. So there's analysis, there's statistical factors, personality factors, and a whole bunch of things that we can actually use to analyze and make decisions in our opinion and take different angles, flip the script and whole things like that. But right now, I'm keeping it 100. Please do not ever talk about Kevin Durant being one of the greatest basketball players. The reason why Kevin Durant is struggling is because of this two-way player that actually has come into fruition by the name of Jason Tatum. And us Laker fans are really having a hard time watching the NBA basketball without LA team being in the first round. That's LA Lakers or Clippers. But it is fun actually watching. And we could call it this, the where are they now? Because there's Laker sightings on every team because, man, Brandon Ingram right now, if he was a Laker, with his talent, playing with LeBron as the number 2, that would have been enough salary cap space to actually put a team together. But one thing that we're looking at right now, we're starting to see these player personnel directors, these players that's actually, putting these teams together, calling their friends and hooking up. We're not going to see that anymore because this Brooklyn situation really destroyed it. So right now you're going to see a power shift back to the front office, and the players are going to have to stop trying to find players that they want to play with. Because if you want to play with somebody, okay, cool. Meaning if you brought him in, you're going to try to make every situation right to make it fit. But if the team drafts somebody, then as a professional, you're supposed to make these adjustments. And if the front office make these decisions, then let them live with the decisions that they make. So if it doesn't work out, they could be thrown under the bus because we see general managers, get fired or step down, but we don't see players get fired and step down for bringing in the wrong player. Because in a press conference over the weekend, when the Brooklyn Nets lost, they asked Kyrie Irving a question, and he said, one thing you can't do about time You can't get it back. You can't create chemistry. You can't create a nucleus. You can't create a rhythm. And the reason why is because of the decisions that he made, and no one has an issue with it, about not taking the vaccine and not playing home games, and then thinking that you can actually turn the light on and actually make it happen just like that. But that's not how it works. Everybody know that. That's why when we talk about Kaepernick, he's not going to get a chance. I can't wait to get on a show or to have a conversation about that. Because look, Kyrie Irving is, pretty much load management this year, not playing any home games. And clearly it did not work. Okay. But this Jason Tatum is the reason Kevin Durant is having issues, because he's a two-way player. I watch him seek out Kevin Durant on the defensive end. I watch him be aggressive, attack, and I watch Kevin Durant show vulnerability, because if I watch Kevin Durant the last two games, I would be wondering, who are you talking about when you say one of the greatest of all time? Because I'm seeing him be outplayed in a series by Jason Tatum. Now, when you talk about the GOATs, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, 1A and 1B, either way you like it. Either win, lose, or draw, they putting up 50. Now, the Kobe has never lost a playoff game without scoring damn near 35 or 40 points. Now, when he won the finals, when he passed to Ron Artest, when he finally got crowned and won a championship without Shaq, and finally won it with his own team, and he was the star, he only had 18 points in that game, I think it was game 6. And this is when Ron Artest, who was Meta World Peace now, was saying, he passed me the ball, because Kobe realized, if we're going to win, I'm going to have to do some other things. So when you make these adjustments, this is how you play. But at the end of the day, you light that cigar and it's just win, baby, no matter what. But I'm not saying that Kevin Durant is not a great basketball player, but I'm saying he's not even in the conversation, because clearly we're looking at him right now. Now, what have you done for me lately? Now, I'm not saying that Kevin Durant's career is over or anything like that, but it's fair to say that he will never be the KD that he was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 2 games ago. Now, and he won his championships when he went to Golden State. He was actually the third or fourth option, and at the time, arguably, was the best player in the league at the time. But right now, he's not the best player in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. Jason Tatum is. And the sad thing about it is, we had an opportunity. When I say we, I mean the Los Angeles Lakers. They picked Lonzo Ball before Tatum. And if the Lakers had picked Tatum, I'm sure they would have traded him already.